over 200 views for our first podcast. We've got to figure out a way to get better at this. Faster, harder, maybe even a little bit stronger. We need the next installment. The middle part of a trilogy. The cream inside an Oreo cookie. We need something.
Are you trying to tell me you want to do a sequel?
Yeah, a sequel.
But, like, we haven't got any topics.
What about a sequel about sequels? Yeah.
Took everything that made the first game good and built it up and made it better.
So introducing our great cast tonight, we have Paul the Marauder.
The Marauder? No, I'm definitely the Ghost. According to like that Facebook thing where you get to your Game of Thrones name, I'm the Paul the Ghost. Yeah.
We have
Lover of
we have
souls.
Princess Ellen on the side because she's the most popular. And we've got
Stop trying to fix it! You're not going to fix it!
Look, it's a part of who I am, so you can just back off.
It's a part of me, and I'm going to make it part of you!
And introducing everybody's favourite pin-up on the corner there, we've got Matt at the far end. How you doing, mate?
Hey.
So, initially we were trying to enhance their knowledge of sequels and kind of what was the first sequel of everything that was going on. I went to the internet to try and solve this question, and it's an uproar. There's many. There's hundreds of claims of different sequels, and the earliest I can claim was the 1972 classics, Space Wars, and the Wampus 2, which even outdate Pong, and it blows my mind.
I was going to say, like, I suppose you could also say, like, Female Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man. Exact same game, just with a bow tie. That would be a sequel.
But they wouldn't be
She
the
had a bow
first.
tie.
She had a bow... No, she had a...
Oh,
not a bow tie.
a bow tie.
What is those
A
things?
bow. A hair bow for a ball.
He'll get there.
Female
He's not meant to know this sort of stuff.
pack
Yeah, exactly. I'm just asserting my masculinity by not knowing female products.
I wear a bow tie in my hair.
So as it's about sequels, and it makes sense that we talk a little bit about why we like them, why do you think sequels should be made? If I can fire it open to anybody on the
I
far
find
end.
that sequels have the ability to flesh out storylines, backstory, and the whole world of games, and enable you to flesh it out, to a point that sometimes you just can't do with one title. One title's, the first title, can set up such beautiful imagery and just have gamers screaming for more because they just want more in it.
You always feel like the first game's a snapshot of the greater world that could go into that thing.
Well, just like building on that as well, like you start to play a game and you get so enthralled in it as well, and you just eventually you want so much more. It's it's almost like it's such an addictive drug. Like you play a game, you love the game mechanics, you love the story, you love the characters. Well, you look at World of Warcraft, for example, that sort of addictive RPG elements. The things like that level building, like you just want to keep on playing. You want to go more, you want to go further, but you want to use your same character and go to new worlds and new places and do new things.
Alright, so storyline, a big part of it. Is it money grab as well? Do you think companies make them, we've caught them with...
They will be good if that's not really.
There's always going to be a sequel if it's a good selling game. You
Watch
reckon
Dogs
these
2.
days?
Watch Dogs 2. Talk about
That's
sequels.
a list,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
going to say.
Yeah.
Especially with all the...
We'll get back to that one.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like, yeah, they're in some cases they are a grab for money, but
I do
if
think
you do them
developers-
well, then good on you. Grab as much money as you can. You're keeping the fans happy. That is, obviously this is all objective, and I must admit a lot of what the comments we're going to say this afternoon, are subjective to
The audience, are objective.
subject to our opinion, and you're free to comment on whatever we say, but
Please do, in fact.
we want to
hear
down
these
below.
statements.
Validate our time. Please, God, validate our time.
So you think developers like enhancing their worlds and all the extra writing that they have to do?
I think to a certain degree, especially with like the game developers, the artists, all those people who spend, we're talking like years on end to like engaging in this world. I'm sure there's a part, especially an artistic part of them, that really loves to do what they do. Granted, it is their job and, they work 12, 14 hours a day or they never leave the office, but there comes to a point where they must love what they do, otherwise they wouldn't do it.
Well, it's probably like also already been in planned anyway. Like, they don't just release a game and then just go like, let's do a sequel because we really want to. They probably already had all the ideas.
Well-
Like, no one just writes one book.
Halo would be a perfect example of
Yeah.
that. well, Halo's like
It was
only.
based on a series of books, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Basically what happened was the Bungie, when they were in control of Halo, they essentially made the game because Xbox kept on pushing them, obviously as a launch title. So they wrote a script out, and they wrote like eventually what became the books, like the Fall of Reach and all the things. They sort of wanted to include it in the initial game, but they never did. So Halo as itself is supposed to be one game. It was never entitled to be a sequel or anything else. But because they did so much backstory and so much... Now look whose phone is going off! they put so much backstory and effort into it that they just thought, it was such a good selling game.
Secretly, I can just.
Oh.
I was gonna say, you're still on camera though. That one's gonna get
It's
you.
all gonna be edited.
All
Oh, where's Lucas to say the editing? We're gonna edit this out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is Lucas?
Speaking of Lucas.
Speaking of Lucas,
Oh, Lucas.
we'll come back to that.
All right.
Fuck him, it's not important.
So we've got the Halo series, and I guess we can say that they're probably one of our most favourite series.
We're biased here at Hat on Heart because most of us say we do have PlayStation and Nintendo people, but Lucas isn't here.
Yeah.
But no, like whether you like Xbox or not, and whether you enjoy the games of Halo or not, it is a popular series, and the reason why it is so popular is because so many people like it. It really didn't necessarily. I'd wait to say it helped redefine the first-person shooter genre. It brought it to a new generation of consoles where it made what GoldenEye was great, and then brought it better.
And I suppose I had Halo in mind when I was talking about fleshing out a storyline. The universe that is, the Halo universe is unbelievable, and the books expand upon that. And if you're a Halo fan and fan of the games, please, I express, you got to read the books. It's a really, really cool universe out there, and a lot of the nuance in the games is explained in the book. So real positive there.
Well, me and you, Ellen, we were talking about Gears of War as one of our favourite sort of sequels to a series.
Yeah.
And I was saying Gears of War 3 was a great game, and Paul was complaining that he didn't like it as much, but we both agreed Gears of War 2 was great.
What? I love Gears of War 2. In fact,
You didn't like Gears of War 3 as much?
No.
I like them both. What are they putting words in my mouth?
You have enough words, you don't need mine.
I was just saying. Don't. I knew you were going to do that. I don't get me wrong, Gears of War 3 was good, and I enjoyed the multiplayer aspect a lot more than Gears of War 2. But Gears of War 2, like, the soundtrack, the new mechanics... Like, I remember, like, in Gears of War 1, when you'd run up to chainsaw someone, if you got shot once, there's this whole stumble animation, you're sort of punch drunk. But in, like, Gears of War 2, you could just run into battle and cop all the bullets in your chest. Speaking of which, where is my Lancer? That'll come later.
It's here.
Yeah, it's hidden up.
Literally, you could just run into battle holding Lancer going,
it's
ah! Or getting shot 50 million times. Granted, on insane mode, you wouldn't do that, but,
Ooh.
So why Gears of War, though, Ellen? Sorry, Paul interrupted you. It was very rude.
Oh, no, that's just
But,
fine.
it'll be justified on Twitter why he's hated so much.
You leave him alone.
It's mine!
Here's my thing to think with.
His name is Jack.
I
Alright.
know his
Alright.
name's Jack.
For everyone, his name is Jack because he was signed by Jack from Achievement Hunter.
Was he?
It was Paul's defining moment.
It was my-
That's the thing.
There you go. Thank you, Jack from Achievement Hunter.
Oh god.
I hope you've seen
I
it.
promised we stay on topic.
Sorry.
We haven't only answered one question.
We wrote almost a set of rules saying, like, Ellen, don't go off topic like last
Paul,
time.
don't talk
We're
so
just like,
much.
we're really,
Ellen, don't jack off Jack.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. I never promised. But let's get back on track. So-
Why Gears of War, Ellen?
Gears of War.
God.
Where do I
Say it
begin?
out loud.
Number one, favorite game of all time, favorite series of all time, up until Judgment. I'll get to that in a sec. But number two, because, well, I just played the campaign so much, and yeah, mostly the campaign was the best aspect of the game.
What?
It was emotional. Like the characters are really addictive. John DiMaggio
Except
voices
Dom.
the main character. I mean, how could I not just like
Melt
yeah,
inside.
Yeah.
Leave Dom out of this. Leave Dom. Leave Dom to the characters one.
See, even that, like, they were just, like, because usually, with books or movies or games, like, there's always the narrative, and then there's the big climax, and it can be like a shock or it could be just sad. But Gears kind of like, it had that big climactic shock and sadness, but it also a little bit throughout as well. Can you please stop laughing at me?
After the conversation
Okay.
about jacking.
Can we stop it with Jack right
This
now?
is her moment. She barely speaks at all. Let's give her a chance.
Well, in full fairness, she was on her phone for the entire time.
In any sense, anyway. This is the first time I've put a sentence together.
Well, I wanted to throw one forward, and I've got a couple because, well, there's a lot of series, so we can't go wrong. I reckon the most popular one, Ocarina of Time in the Zelda series. That's a very strong sequel. Yes, it's a different sort of. It's gone from straight flat down to 3D, but Ocarina of Time was a great game.
Don't get me wrong, and
Redefined a genre,
Is it
in my
pronounced?
opinion.
ocarina. It's an actual instrument.
Ocarina. I thought it was Ocarina.
No, orcs.
Ocarina.
Ocarina!
Yeah.
When they
With
took
that-
the
Skyrim.
two
With our
games.
Aussie accents, it's an ocarina.
Yeah.
Ocker, an ocker.
An ocar.
Oh yeah, mate, ocarina.
Ocarina
And you could
of
say it's
Time.
expansion pack Majora's Mask, which it was.
Yeah, that was I'm gonna. Sorry, you go.
It was. There was, mechanics-wise, there was very, very little between the two, but
Oh, story-wise,
Don't-
it was completely different, I agree.
it's and also just a fantastic game. So it's
Yeah.
just it was a great sequel, and it was a shame it took them so long to do something similar. Well, for me anyway, I love those two games, and they changed the style up once it changed consoles. But I'm really looking forward to what's coming up. That was announced at E3, the new Link in the Link saga.
Yeah, it looks good.
far out.
You could say E3 this year was the land of sequels.
It-
There were a lot of sequels
wow.
announced to that
It
place.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the new Uncharted game coming out. Halo. Well, they're
Witcher?
releasing all the series, all the
All the
sequels in one
Halos.
thing. Halo 5, which will also be out.
Yeah.
Far
Witcher.
Cry 4.
Battlefield Hardline?
All the Battlefields and
Probably
Call of
not-
Duty
probably
Advanced
another bloody
Warfare.
COD.
Yeah, Advanced
Would you
Warfare.
call the
Think love?
the
Modern
new,
Warfare, Advanced
what
Warfare.
was it? It's
Retro
the
Warfare.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings
Futuristic
game
Warfare.
came out. Would you call that a sequel?
You could call it a sequel to Assassin's Creed. Because that's apparently they stole all the code for that.
When you think about it though, like when you look at it, it's more the mechanics of Batman Arkham,
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Like you look at the fighting style, it is that sort of stun, and then you can quickly counter behind and
Yeah.
whatnot. But going back to the topic of Zelda, don't get me wrong, obviously 64 generation, I love the 64, but I'm gonna go either side of it and either say I love Link to the Past, or my personal favorite game for the Link series is Wind Waker.
Wind Waker was a good game. It was a great game.
Aw.
I love the cartoon style, I love the cell shading. And
I
it was
did
just
love the way they took that series in so many different directions. Like, it wasn't, Link did this story, then Link did this story, then Link did... He was a different Link, you could say, in each different story.
Yes! Look, what happened to your hair? I'll go sort of silhouetted. I've got to get a photo of this.
Right. MC Celso has had a bad hair day.
He's having an,
I
he's having
wouldn't say
a,
it's a bad hair
no, it's an
day.
amazing hair day. Like
It's borderline Wolverine.
I was gonna say,
Sorry.
like, it's
Oh,
Oh, it's really scary.
yeah.
Oh, lo, lo.
This is
and
silhouetted.
C Money is now Slenderman.
We're really sorry seeing
I'm a-
Celso isn't on the screen.
I'm a pube.
What? I think something like also I will link this comment in the video, but like, has anyone ever heard of the channel Game Theorist?
Oh,
How good is it? He actually does sort of the running in line with the whole different sort of themes of Zelda. Like he actually does videos on the theories of the timelines and multiple dimension theories of how Nintendo sort of explains the different sort of incarnations of Zelda. And when you sort of like look at it as well, I mean, Nintendo itself is a company of sequels. Like they really don't stray too far.
No, they know what works for
But,
them.
and that's the thing. Like the Nintendo Wii U was doing really, really terrible, and they came out at 2014's E3 and said, "Oh, hi guys, so Mario Kart, Smash Bros, another Mario," and everyone just frothed. Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in PlayStation 4. I'm not interested in Xbox
They
One.
released Mario Kart.
Super
and Wii-
Smash Brothers
Mario Kart, the new one for Wii U. Wii U sales.
wasn't like
Quadrupled.
400%.
Yeah. It
400%.
was an incredible amount.
yeah, giant Mario Kart machines. But what I find with when you've got you say they're a company of sequels. I think when you've got a formula like you do on a TV show, some TV shows have a formula for each episode and it repeats and people love that. And as soon as they change that formula, viewers start switching off.
Yeah.
Same with the video games. If you've got a working formula, you know,
You've got something that worked that
Yeah,
made
yeah.
you.
yeah,
Well, the most popular game, according to research, was Wii Sports, and the only reason it was the most popular was it came free with the Wii.
I had so many good memories. I could never beat Paul at boxing. Still to this day.
oh, yeah,
Still to this day.
yeah.
And the last one I wanted to put forward, well, second last, because me and you talked about the last one we're going to talk about in a minute, Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls series. Unofficially the highest selling game of all time. Across all platforms and PC. Not in a single game. There's the Call of Duty series that apparently sold
Was
the
it
most.
really anticipated?
It was announced at the E3 before it. It had won
'Cause
numerous...
For some
Was it
reason, I
2011?
just don't remember like it being too big a deal. Maybe
Well,
that's
I
because
think they released a
wasn't
couple of good
watching.
videos and everyone like, oh, you released a couple of great
After
videos.
watching Harry-
I'm not going to be too excited about it, but then they released this
When it
open
came
world
out,
game that blew everyone's mind, let them do what they wanted to do, and expand upon the success they had with Oblivion.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a look at Morrowind and Oblivion, like as I was saying before with the formulas, again, you know, it's the same thing. Just
They just improved on it.
Yeah.
We're
Same
winning
thing,
with
but better.
this.
yeah,
Let's do it better instead of all right. I'm going to change the mechanics and make it, what they did with Fable from Fable 2 to Fable 3.
yeah.
That was disappointing. That's in my.
I think all the respect for Peter Molyneux, but Lionhead Studios, I'm still.
He left there after
I know after Fable 3.
Fable 3, I think.
I know Fable Journey.
3 was
The Connect.
And just
Oh,
bringing a bit of continuity with the first episode, me and you were talking about this. One of our favourite sequels of all time, Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah.
It's just such a solid game that improved upon great mechanics.
And it was simple, like, it's sort of strange, like, especially a lot of the retro arcade games are now going back to that sort of side-scrolling aspect and platforming. But, like,
The indie industry is almost built on it at the moment.
well, yeah, you look at really successful games like Limbo, Princess of Light, to a certain degree, Journey, are all good examples of platformers, which really, it's a simple mechanic, you have some sort of collectibles or bonuses along the way, but it's a solid concept. And, well, again, Donkey Kong Country 2, like, I think...
Project Spark looks like it's going to have a fair bit of platforming and racing sort of stuff like
That's what I
that.
was thinking.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
I don't know enough about it, though.
They haven't released much about it. They've released like a lot of videos. You can build whatever world you want. We don't know.
Yeah.
Is it Minecraft? Can we build whatever world we want, or is it you build your
I
own
think
levels?
that's what they were trying to work off. They're like, Minecraft has exploded. Let's do something that's not in 64-bit. Where is that?
Highest selling PC game apparently of all time.
Damn.
If I'm saying.
Can I
Do you even-
ask something? Like, going off that, do you reckon a game is bound to be more popular on PC because you can mod it? I'm just saying, like, when Skyrim came out on PC and people just went to town on the modding,
I
does
love
that...
running around with a
does that-
lightsaber in
Does
that
that
game.
no, but I'm saying, like, does that automatically make a game more appealing almost to
I
be
guess
able to do that?
If they make it
Tamper with
more accessible to their audience. Like, if you lock everything up, and to a great extent Nintendo do this. Nintendo don't have a lot of second-party sort of support.
Isn't it
But-
third party?
But I'm not sure whether
Third-party second party, I don't know who the second party is. Third-party support.
Woo!
You've got the second party, I want to be there.
But is it a good thing or a bad thing? Because what happened in one of the mods on Skyrim on PC is you can fly the dragons, and then Dragonborn DLC came out where you could fly the dragons, but you had to pay for that.
Yeah.
So, is it a kill or a cure? Like for
I
a
think-
game?
Well, is DLC a sequel?
No.
To an extent.
No.
Or is it just an
That's
add-on to the
an
story?
add-on,
I think it's a part of the game that they probably should have released. I think DSL is another issue in on its own because they spend so much time going, here's a semi-complete product, and then we're going to like drip dry with all the cool things that
Like
we thought.
patches and all
Yeah,
that
things
sort of
like that. But I suppose going back to what you were saying, like modding is I think modding is really, really good. Like if you look at Minecraft, going back to that as an
Yeah.
example, like Notch and the team, they look at what the community does and things like Redstone, like horses,
Yeah.
all these things were things that modders did, and they've incorporated into the official game. Again, you have sort of that thing where some make you pay for it.
Yeah, but these ideas, sometimes snowball. And look what happened with the Armor series, and you ended up with DayZ. Like,
Turned into a zombie.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
but think about that. You had a game that started off as
An army.
as an army
A
game.
pretty terrible army game,
Yeah,
if we're honest.
Yeah, but it ended up being it's quite a cool zombie
One of the best
survivor.
mods.
I was going to put if not more popular than the original game.
Exactly.
Is
Oh,
that
they
a
only
se-
bought
is
the-
that a
Only
sequel?
bought the original game,
Community made
turned it into a
Yeah,
mod.
a community made sequel right
Yeah.
there.
Well, it's spawned its own game now.
Yeah.
I see on Steam
Yeah.
you can actually buy you can get into
DayZ.
the first one for that.
Yeah, and I must admit, I've been, busting for Steam sales, so I've been keeping a close eye on
It
Steam
is
for a
such
long
a
time.
bad time of the year.
Oh,
When it's
DayZ,
on sale.
We're nearly there.
DayZ, it's there, it's here.
Oh, is it now?
19th to 30th.
Excuse me.
Oh, Battle Block Theatres on Steam now.
Oh,
Have you-
really?
Have you watched the trailer for it?
No.
It's hilarious.
Oh, Harry Sampa.
Yeah.
Buckety
Watch
Pan.
those Let's
Yeah.
Plays,
Oh my
Pan.
god.
Yeah.
And he does like an entire trailer that's just aimed at Steam. And he's like, "Oh, have you still playing it on Xbox Arcade?" And then he's just like, "Steam."
All right, well,
I have
we'll
to
move
go see
on.
that movie.
Yeah, no,
on.
it's
We
funny.
won't drag it along. Worst sequels. Obvious follow-on question of best
Okay.
sequels.
Can I start here?
I don't
Anger.
remember what
I don't want to. Do you need a moment? Do you need to
Ah.
compose yourself on this one?
This really annoyed me because, this is a change in consoles, going from Xbox 360 to Xbox One. And don't get me wrong, I love new technology and I love experimenting with new technology, but don't forget the fundamentals. I'm talking here about the Kinect Sports Rivals. In comparison to the Kinect Sports, and when they first brought out the Project Natal and the Kinect with Xbox 360, there's just no comparison. Kinect Sports Rivals is not fun to play.
They had so much time to improve on the Kinect
And it-
experience, and it's so badly broken.
And it didn't even come out as a
on release.
on release. You had to wait nearly 8 months or something.
And
But-
it wasn't even it was mini games.
Yeah.
A bunch of mini games using a system that's
But
meant to be the most.
don't get me
powerful
wrong,
thing around.
mini games can be so much fun. I had more fun with Kinect Sports Arcade than I did with anything else.
Yes.
And that was fun. It was lots and there was more than 5 or 6 things to do. Kinect Sports Rivals, I played. I was busting for it. I spent $70, downloaded it like the time it came out and played it, and was just thoroughly and utterly disappointed with it. If you're gonna do a sequel, do it right. Because I'm unlikely to if they did another one, I'm not gonna buy it. And the same with any other Kinect. It sort of like destroyed the Kinect for me.
They were trying so hard for it not to be a gimmick. I think Kinect. They've been saying,
Yeah.
we want to be able to use by full-time gamers to do anything
Part
they
of-
want.
But I
The
think the
Xbox.
thing they missed out, and this is sort of like it would have played well off like the Nintendo Wii and all that, if they kept it as that gimmick and that enjoyable kiddie sort of faulted
Like
movements.
iToy.
Yeah.
Like they didn't try and make that like you must have this with the PlayStation.
If you made it as a joke sort of thing, like
Yeah.
there's I'm a big fan of Kinect games purely because I love how broken they are, and some of my best memories are because it is so broke. And like you do something and then you see like your arm flailing on the screen
We've
because your
had-
arm's
we've
in like
had
some
some
awkward
great-
position.
We've had some great Dragon Ball Z Kinect.
Well, I was gonna say like we'll come to that later, but
Okay, they're broken, but they're fun.
yeah.
So-
Oh yeah.
I've had so much fun in this room
Yeah.
with this man.
In the studio.
I have got videos like
Office space.
Slash
next time
everything.
you guys have a a Kinect night with your friends, should you ever, get your phone out and video them when they're not
Looking.
I got a slap in the face from my girlfriend because I was doing that because it was utterly hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It is
Yeah.
They
absolutely
don't realise
hilarious.
they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're watching the screen going like this,
Yeah.
and you're watching them. You're like, he wouldn't do that any
It
other
is
time.
Isn't even my final form.
Yeah. You wouldn't even dance in public and look what you're doing. Like,
You could be so drunk.
Yeah.
but
I
you're
don't-
still like.
I don't know. I
watching
think I've
horror
got better
Kinects.
better moves on the dance floor than I do on bloody any Kinect game.
oh god. Yeah. Anyway, move on. So beyond Kinect, anyone else have any really nasty sequels that they want to mention?
How many?
Say,
So,
it, say,
so,
it, say it, Alex.
Gotta
It's
talk
what you
about
want.
are we
it.
going to talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Call of Duty and then
Oh no, that
the new Call of Duty
Yeah.
and then the Call of Duty
Sorry,
after
which new one?
and the next Call of Duty.
Oh,
So that one.
Does
so
she
the
like
Call
Call
of
of
Duties
Duty?
that haven't come out yet are bad sequels.
No, it's got Kevin Spacey in it. It's gonna be good. I'm dreaming because
Actually-
it's got Kevin Spacey
Can
in
we
it.
talk about celebrities being in expansions and stuff? Payday 2 has released a DLC with bloody Frank from Breaking Bad in it. Has anyone seen that?
No,
Can
I
we
haven't.
bring up a photo of it? It's a
I think we'll bring it up now.
there it is there. Does that not look like Gustav Is his name Gustav Fring?
Yeah.
I haven't watched Breaking Bad in a while, but
that's the
even if like we're probably showing.
We're showing this right now.
But
yeah.
Post production is definitely on. The team is on this.
so that like, why? Why do you do?
How much was the DLC? Do you have to pay for it?
Yeah.
So
I
how
think- I
much
think
did you
it's
pay
expensive.
for Gus Dufresne on your bloody?
that shows your
Who
fandom.
wouldn't? I mean, as soon as you see this picture, you
really
know
hope
what I
when
mean.
they-
You'll be like, I want to pay for that because
Well, to completely break the rules of going off on a tangent, I think was it Reach where they had almost the entire team from Firefly.
No,
ODST.
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 Like I bought that game purely because it had the Firefly
bad
crew.
sequels.
No, I loved ODST.
okay.
Anything with
Just like-
anything with Nathan Fillion in it, I am 110%
That's not-
for.
okay,
It is
that's fine.
it is enough reason.
We're
I
going
paid.
to join the entire internet and mention that we're big fans of Nathan Fillion just
Yeah.
off the bat.
Where is what like Fox
Where's-
wanted to get a season 2 back, but
talk about sequels.
oh, a sequel
Firefly, man.
that needs to happen.
Come on. Think
They're all-
about this.
They're all too
It's
famous now.
20 years since it was. I don't know.
I would.
They're all floating around in
Someone,
space in
can
wheelchairs
someone on
or
the internet
something.
get a Kickstarter going? Someone needs to get a
I
Kickstarter.
think
for
they've
this.
tried.
Think about it.
No,
It's
they
like-
haven't tried hard enough.
It's like Cowboy Bebop, but live
Better.
action. Live action Cowboy Bebop. It's
That was a
Space
great
Cowboys.
game too.
Think of
Just on
That
a
was-
side note.
that
It's a
was
game or it's an anime?
It's all of the above.
my God.
I wasn't
Beard curling.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
But-
anyone else for?
Ellen was going to
Okay.
say. Ellen was meant to say Liberty City Stories
Don't.
from GDA, but she'd ruled.
That's yours.
I'll briefly mention that like Liberty.
Oh.
After San Andreas, I bought Liberty City, thinking it was gonna be better than San Andreas, and then the character. Oh wait, I don't remember what the character was, but it was such a step down from everything. And then GTA 4 came out.
Close.
He's almost killed our
GDA
cameraman with a
4
bottom
came
top.
out, which also pissed me off. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like. They almost tried too hard to get that whole roll button, let's go bowling. Like, I mean, the memes are funny,
Was
but
it a gimmick in your
it
opinion?
was a gimmick. It was. I just didn't quite.
Yeah, nobody even likes bowling.
Yeah. Fucking losers.
His cousin really liked.
Well, I
bowling.
can't. I'm in the loser seat again today. Somehow I
Yeah.
managed to pull
So
sandwich.
that's brief on that one. I don't really have much to say about GTA, but I do have so much to say about Gears of War Judgment. And so do you.
Look. It broke the multiplayer. I still enjoyed it because Baird's my favorite character from the Gears of War series.
I know, but
And
the
the Coltrane was in it as well.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That was a really good
No,
culture.
actually
That was a really
was.
good culture.
That was
That is
almost
that is the
like-
best impersonation you've done on film yet.
Can that be a soundbite? I need to use that for something.
Well, they will notice it because I'll put
29?
It,
Alright.
I'll put it on the introduction or
Alright.
something.
Fine.
Just when the hat's falling.
Yeah.
Woo!
Do it.
I'll try it again, but I don't want to. I'm on a high.
We're there.
Yeah.
Okay, Gears of War
Exactly.
Judgment. Why?
Coltrane runs at whole grade, baby.
Oh my god!
That's like,
Is that when I try?
Yeah.
What does he say?
Yeah, he says
No,
Coltrane runs on whole grade, baby. Woo!
I do like Colbrand. No, I still think. Look, it wasn't nearly as good as
Let's
what Gears
talk
of War
about
2.
the pros.
It was another Gears of War game.
It was another Gears of War game. Baird was the main character. He's awesome. He's funny. Blah blah blah. But I think
And declassified missions.
yes,
I love
they were
I
actually
love
really
that
cool.
extra challenge.
Yeah, because it kind of gave you the option of like insanity mode or whatever it was.
Well,
like,
you do like there's one
you
partic-
did?
the one where you're in the museum and you have to protect all the artifacts.
Spoiler.
That on insane. No, it's not a spoiler. The game's been out for 2 years. If you haven't played it by now, then yeah.
We've already said it was shit, so no one's gonna go and.
No,
Oh,
it's
gonna bring
we
up Judgment.
Gearbox, we really enjoyed it. There's just things you could have done better.
Gearbox.
Room
not-
for
what?
improvement.
Gearbox.
It's, for starters, it's Epic Studios, and B, it's not even Cliffy B isn't there anymore.
Well, there it doesn't matter.
leave,
He did-
Yeah,
What do you mean it didn't matter? Like Cliffy B, Cliffy B, mate.
we do miss you.
Call me,
us fans.
baby. I think cons. It broke multiplayer.
Multiplayer became your and I'm pretty sure a Call of Duty came out at the same time as this that was really successful. Now, which one was it? Was it Black Ops 2?
Would have been
Yeah,
Black Ops.
Wops.
Black Ops 2, I loved it. I'm just gonna. I don't care.
How many gold guns?
I'm gonna. Oh, like A lot.
All
I'm
of
pretty
the
sure I
gold.
diamond the primary assault class because I cleared all those. Did you not?
No,
Okay.
okay. We tried to play. The only thing we've done is we tried to play as zombies, and that Let's Play is never coming out because.
That's great.
No, it was. Oh.
No, you don't want to see.
We
the
may
footage.
go back there.
Oh.
I played Black Ops 2 last night, and I remember why I liked it. That was the only one I liked, but Judgment was in competition with it, and
And
it
lost.
turned into the typical red versus blue Call of Duty. Like everything about it, weapon loadouts became, tap Y and you swap between a pistol, and then you chose out of a shotgun or an assault rifle. When it used to be like the D-pad was the 4. Top was smoke grenade, right was the assault rifle, left was Nasher, and down was pistol. But they just... God, there's actually a person with a gamer tag called Diagram Walker.
Oh really?
Yeah, he plays all the time.
Please, I need to play with.
Friend us.
He's a good guy.
I need a friend.
But they destroyed it for me. I mean, like, there was so much going.
No, Lucas.
Lucas.
Lucas. So there was
Did
so much.
you get the angle on that as well earlier?
Wait, have we even touched on that?
We haven't touched on. Oh.
We will get to that.
We're like at 10%.
Can I just finish my rant?
No.
They did the whole, like, they got rid of Locust, and that was such a cool thing. Like, when I play Gears of War 2, 3 still, like, there's something so scary about the opposite team just kind of being, like, monsters.
Yeah.
And, they got rid of executions.
Did
What
they
is
really?
it? They did. Because in Gears of War 3, if you were the cog, you'd beat people's faces. Like, you could just repeatedly beat people's
I remember
faces.
so many games where I'm just sitting there. I'm like, the team's already lost, and some guy is a locust. He's beating me to death with my own arm
and
for like
the-
10 seconds. I'm like,
There are controllers in the wall
And
because of
the-
that very reason.
there's a reason why this set is coated in black.
Yeah, and the Locusts would beat the cog with their own arms. And then in Judgment, they got rid of the Locust and they got rid of the Execution. And it's like, where did all that amazing originality go? Like, those two different things you could do.
They almost took the Gears of War
They
out of Gears of
did.
War.
They did. They really did. And
I must
like,
admit, they did cop a fair bit of flack because of
they
the gore
they
factor.
apologized. Oh, really?
Yeah, they copped a bit of flack
I'm
because
pretty
of
sure
the
they
gore
got- it got
apologized
pretty
for
heavily
Judgment, though.
censored.
Yeah.
Remember? They were like, look, sorry, but we will do better. And now I'm really praying you will, because
Well,
it now belongs to Microsoft, doesn't it?
Well, it always was a subsidiary of Microsoft, so Microsoft had bought
Now
all
it's
the
entirely,
rights. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So-
I suppose building on that, like Halo 4, which is now owned by a subsidiary of Microsoft 343 Industries. I still like Halo 4.
I thought it was a great game.
I thought it was
agree.
considering.
I'm not going to say it was a bad game.
Yeah, well, but
I like
I
Halo.
think
I think they had such big boots to fill that
Yeah.
anything they did would always
it
be.
was hard. Like,
like, to fill Bungie's shoes, like that's a big ask.
it was a good game.
Bungie,
for what they had to do.
Bungie like revolutionized the industry.
So we're calling Destiny a sequel to Halo?
No.
I don't know what
That's
to
a different.
say about that one.
That, 'cause we need to touch on Lucas.
Anyways, that's enough about
Yeah,
Gears.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying Judgment didn't... It took the
I-
Gears War out of the Gears
I've
War.
got no-
So as you know, Lucas isn't here tonight. He's bouncing around the favelas of bouncing around the. I don't know what's going on. He's bouncing around the favelas of Brazil, I guess.
I think now is a good time to show
He's
some live.
bouncing around Brazil.
Give me that. I think we can show some live footage of Lucas there. That's
We
coming
might
up.
even get some violins going over that.
So guys, if you're in Brazil and you see Lucas, make sure you say hello and please don't be threatening. He's very small and he gets a little bit scared.
Excellent.
So he'll be
excellent.
back
Excellent.
next week when
He's
he
a
comes up.
sweet summer child.
Summer chart, sweet print. All right.
Sweet
All right. So what needs a sequel? So we've talked about all the series that have had a lot of sequels. What needs a sequel coming up?
I've got two games that
Go
just
on,
like
Paul.
personal favorite. Like I'm disappointed because one of the new games coming out on the Xbox One is Insomniac's. What's it called? I've already forgotten the name of it. The new Insomniac game
Is that the
with the energy
the
drink,
Sunset
Sunset Overdrive.
one?
They had
Oh
a game.
god, that looks crazy.
It looks good.
It looks like an acid trip on the
Yeah.
anything which breaks
Tony
the fourth.
Hawk, but
Anything which breaks the fourth wall in any kind of media, I always like.
Really? Really?
Yeah. So anything which breaks the fourth
That's
wall.
why-
I'm speaking to you.
That's
the
why I
audience.
like Jack and Daxter. They
Well,
kinda did
but
that.
one game they brought on the 360 and the
Tell.
PS3 that I really, really loved, and then everyone sort of, canned, was Fuse. I really, really liked Fuse, and if we can sort of play a clip at the same time, that would be really good.
You're the biggest Fuse fan I think I've ever met.
I love that game. Like, I played it with two of my mates, and we smashed out the entire campaign. It's one of those games which almost punishes you for playing single player, but it didn't. I think purely, and this is the thing about gaming though, you play with your mates, it really does enhance the experience. And it was such a good game, and the graphics weren't mind blowing, but it had good enough facial animations. The commentary was really good. The concepts and the ideas behind it was really, really well done as well. It was sort of like a Borderlands RPG-esque where you could pick your class and then sort of choose your different skill trees. But it was just such an enjoyable game. I really love it. Other favorite game, which definitely needs a sequel. I don't care what anyone says. You can hate on me as much as you want. Aliens: Colonial Marines. That game makes me so happy inside and outside, just so many ways.
Well, you're alone with that one.
Yeah.
I don't care.
He's
why you're in the
isolating
middle.
himself from the rest of the gaming industry.
Gearbox, man, like
Gearbox.
you did a great.
Did they do it this time?
This is a Gearbox game. It wasn't nearly as scary as what it should have been. They got all the right voice actors, the sound. They shouldn't have brought back Hicks, but cameos, whatevs. But it was just such a good game. Once again, playing with other friends, so I'm not paying attention to the game. But
One of the things I think needs a sequel, and I guess they sort of did it in ways, was Red Dead Redemption.
Oh,
That was such a
Yes.
quality game. And then they brought out that DLC that turned everything into zombies. That was hilarious.
which was kind of a sequel, sort of.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It's DLC, so I don't know what we classified as a sequel or not.
We did. We discussed this because if you could buy it as a single game,
Yeah.
it was a sequel, wasn't it?
But that sort of annoys me because that was a period of time where all games were just sort of getting sucked into the zombie vortex of rehashes.
But it was done well.
But I think they did.
It
I think they
worked
did the
so
best
well.
job of it.
Any
They
game where
really
you have to
did.
spam A to run frustrates me.
Oh,
You-
GTA.
Oh my god.
I thought with San Andreas, you spammed A as much as you could and then just held it, and you stayed running that fast.
So it's like a build-up meter, is it?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta
And
do
then
it.
you just
GTA
cheated and
5
just
you've got to
held
spam,
it.
eh? GTA 5 you've got to spam, eh?
I think that's just their
Great sequel,
signature,
just off the boot.
like, control sort of set.
Every game's unique.
It's like Final Fantasy VII when I used to spend so much time bloody charging Bohemia Quetzalcoatl or whatever their names was. Like,
All those,
unlimited power! Yeah, whatever.
all the other Final Fantasy games, you spam A just to get through the rubbish cutscenes.
Isn't that like, I was about to say, isn't that most JRPGs, but I just want to play the game! Although they are beautiful. Not gonna lie.
You can't argue their art design, but it gets a bit sappy after the 20th.
They're
20th
always so-
heroine
they're just-
dies.
They're
for
just
no
so
reason.
emotional. All of the time. All of the time. All of the time.
What
Okay,
else?
so-
what
so
else? What else needs a sequel?
I just thought of one. I'm going to say Black for PlayStation 2. Where did it go?
Ooh.
Like, it just, I know it's going to be like, but then Call of Duty came out. It's like, no, there was no multiplayer for it, obviously. I don't think, no.
Heavy Rain.
Never played.
Heavy Rain on the PlayStation 3. Although it doesn't really leave, like, mountains of open room for a sequel. I think the game was so well developed. The story was incredible. They have to, I suppose you could say, well, even like anything coming out of Naughty Dog Studios is amazing in
Yeah.
terms of, and there was talk about sort of making the Last of Us sequel. I think you should leave it where it ended, but I think anything from Naughty Dog is going to be like top
They're
quality
always
game.
great.
They really do
nail
put their
it.
money
they're,
into their
they're
development.
the kings of storyline.
Well, but you
They
can
put a
tell they're
lot
the
of
ones
effort
who
into
are
that.
devoted to.
Well, they,
To
they,
giving
they do
good
sequels
quality
for the
stuff.
story, it seems.
Well,
Or
yeah,
do
they
stories
build
for
it
the
up.
What did you mention before? Was it Slender Man in the pantry, in the bath,
He's in a lot of places. He's waiting for me when I
Ghost-
go to bed.
Ghost in the bathroom,
Ghost in the
Oh,
shower.
Ghost in the Shell. Yeah.
Oh, in the shower.
Ghost in the shower.
I literally
Ghost
thought
in
you said Ghost in the shower.
I am not bathing tonight. Thank you to you.
That's Maximum
Ghost
Seltzer's
in the
favourite.
shower.
I'm like, how do you make a game out of this? You mentioned that.
It's a showering simulator.
Yeah.
You have to how much
Well,
you
no,
exfoliate
they've
and washing your
become quite
hair,
popular
and then if you
as
don't
well.
exfoliate in the right fashion, this is just beautiful.
This guy.
Ghost in
This
the
guy.
Shell. Sorry.
Hey, next week you're in the loser seat. I don't
Fine.
even care.
Melon sandwich.
What
Whatever.
didn't need a sequel? In your opinions?
I don't
Well,
really
this
know.
one's tricky.
We can put crickets at the moment.
Well, there's those sequels that just keep on coming out, and keep on coming out.
I know
and,
exactly what's.
And I am absolutely
Just prepare yourself,
bewildered as how they
FIFA.
bewildered as how they actually still make money off these games that are produced every year. They must have some really, really loyal fan base because, you know, when you've got the same mechanics, you know, tweak the minus bit, just coming out for their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th, 14th bloody installment. I'm just like,
I think it's because
that's a grand worth of game right there that you've spent on 1,000 installments.
I think it's the roster changes though.
For different players.
But like I imagine for like real like if you like Maddens, your FIFAs, your like NBAs, because the roster changes and like if you really are into your sports, well, obviously you want to keep up and you want to play with your favorite sports people.
Couldn't they do it as a DLC?
Oh.
With your new with like maybe every 3 years bring out a new game where you've got like, you know, a more powerful code, but and just bring out the rosters as instead of you're spending, you know,
but they want to make money.
$30.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
exactly.
the only reason they
But
do it.
If speaking of cash cowing, that's what Iggy does.
Exactly is. Exactly.
Well-
They must have a very loyal fan base.
You can almost say Pokemon in that way.
No. Pokemon needs a million sequels forever and ever.
Alright, I'm currently the company champion as it sits, having defeated Maximum Celso in an epic duel, which he's still very bitter about.
Mendoza.
But they do something new. They do just enough that a new sequel's relevant. They've got such a loyal... They're Nintendo, so they've got such a loyal audience.
They have our generation, maybe not yours.
I don't know.
Ah!
I think it's just as popular at the moment amongst the young kids.
Especially going to university, all the 18-year-olds like, yeah, I've got my Generation 1, I feel so cool. Like, it's retro.
Yeah.
It's retro, that's why. A game that needs to stop, and it really needs to stop, Final Fantasy.
That
I
does
would
really
agree.
keep going.
Look, the name.
There's enough of
It's the Final Fantasy. You can't put a number on the end of it and then say it's the final number 13. Like, don't get me wrong. I've got all 3 of the Final Fantasy 13 games. I have a rule where I only play it if I'm drunk, and I have not finished any of them in 6 years. I am still waiting to play. I'm 14% done on the first one. It just end it. Like Final Fantasy 7, you're not going to beat that. It's the top.
I reckon you get a lot of flack for that, just because.
Come on, hate on me.
We've-
Hate on me, I dare you.
It's one of those
We've
like,
just been banned in
titles that
Japan.
Yeah,
are made to
straight
do
up.
that though.
I love Toshiba computers. In fact, we're running this on Toshiba computers.
As oh sorry, I thought it was a Toshiba update popped
I
up.
was going to say,
on the screen.
my antivirus is gone. Ah.
Can we have like? I just thought of one more question that we could end this with if we are.
Go, far away. What you
I
got?
was thinking.
Yeah, I'm bored.
What is everyone's ultimate sequel that will probably never be released, but a dream sequel?
Ooh.
And it doesn't have to already have had sequels, but what's a dream one? Like, what's
The Dream sequel.
a dream
I want-
sequel?
Look, Elder Scrolls Online. I've been
We'll go
playing.
online.
I've been playing on PC, and it tries to capture that world of Skyrim and Oblivion to an extent, but they made it an MMO, which it wasn't what it was famous for. You give me Skyrim with 5 times the size of what Skyrim was, with lots of different stories. I will play nothing else for the rest of time.
Yeah.
So that's
It'll be
yours?
that good a game. So I'd say that'd be mine.
Online or just single
No,
player again?
I love that game because it was a single player in depth.
Even if it had a drop in and drop out with 2 people.
Look, if they added co-op, that'd be fine. But I don't
Yeah.
want 16 other guys killing,
Yeah.
waiting
I would've been
waiting
happy
around a
with
bend
co-op.
where I get hacked to
That-
pieces for no
yeah,
reason.
yeah.
All right, for me, it would be like, not to harp on about Halo, but I think they've built it up so much that every installment they bring out, bigger and bigger expectations are expected
Yeah.
of them. I want a sequel and a finale that meets
Yeah.
all my
Everything,
expectations.
yeah.
Something that just leaves me going, put the controller down
And weep.
and just cry myself.
Like,
no, but
Gears of War
just
3.
in happiness, because I can go, that was an exceptional way to finish that.
So your
And-
dream sequel's a finale.
Well, yeah, it would be a it would be
Everything
a-
you've ever wanted.
This is a new trilogy, isn't it?
Yeah, we're running into. Well, I think imagine if they made it into not an MMO, but imagine if they made it like almost Mass Effect-esque, where you could go to different worlds and fight on
That would
different
change
campaigns.
the whole Halo game.
Oh, it would. Oh,
that's-
that one
that's-
hurt!
That's Destiny.
Oh, my toe!
Well, that's pretty much
the
Destiny.
broken foot.
They've given different worlds with.
But I want
That's
Halo, I don't want Destiny. Well, I want Destiny as well.
I wanted Mass Effect to finish at 3. They'd done their story. Commander Shepard, he, you know.
I think Mass Effect should have ended at 2. Let's
It
not.
really
I'm
should.
No,
just.
Mass Effect 3
Nah.
was a great game.
Nah.
Oh, what
Ooh.
was yours?
Give us
Oh,
drinks.
Three dream. I've got a couple actually. I want a game centered around Will Stamper and Chris O'Neill.
Okay.
It's not even a sequel. That's just like
A dream
That's
game.
just an outright game. I suppose. I don't know. There are too many games that I love so much over time that I'm happy they ended when they did, because there is that sort of element of overkill. If you make too much of a good thing, you will get bored. And like, the reason why I say I think Halo would be really good to have that sort of open universe thing, like Borderlands. There'll be another Borderlands sequel without a doubt, not the pre-sequel, but they'll have like a third one. If they make that,
I think it's already in development.
if they make that open, like you can go to other worlds and fight still in that first-person sort of style, that will be my. Leave it after that. Leave the franchise.
Great series. Great series.
Oh,
Borderlands 2 was probably one of the best sequels
We're talking about
to an original game.
It took everything that made the first game good and built it up and made it better.
And bazillionaire it.
Bazillion and more guns. But like even like I talk about writing as well. Like the writing was spectacular. Like I think at the Spike Awards of 2013 they got best voice actor, Claptrap, the Handsome Jack. You know they really put it.
They caught the essence of what Borderlands was and put it in the
Oh yeah, and they really like they mock themselves. They're open about mocking themselves, and that's what makes them so endearing.
All right, you brought up the question.
Okay, so this is my answer. My dream sequel, like hands down, would be like doesn't really have to be a new story, but just like on next gen, Crash Bandicoot. Just bring it back. Would be like don't change like the skins, like how it's all made. Leave all that same.
Complete retro.
Few characters, like maybe some new ones. Leave all the old ones, but just bring it back, please, because that would just hands down be the best thing
Bring
to
it back.
ever be rumored or announced. They were just like, oh, Crash Bandicoot maybe Crash Bandicoot next gen, like.
Half-Life
It
3
would-
confirmed.
Yeah, it would exactly. See, that would be my ideal one, just to.
There's been some
Something
good reboots recently, so why not?
Yeah.
I mean, Tomb Raider, that was a great reboot.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of sequels, like at the release, like when they previewed
It's not a
that,
sequel.
it is a sequel.
It's a
It's a
reboot.
reboot.
No, the
sequel.
reboot's the first one. The sequel to the reboot. The sequel to the reboot of the reboot on the next gen.
Ah.
Your logic is flawed.
No, Batman is riding Superman. Your logic is no. I win.
We've entered the wormhole of what
Wait, and this is applicable. Oh my god, that was perfect.
I was like, what the fuck? What? Huh? Oh my god.
Well, I guess that's
Jack
our
Reed.
sequel.
That. Yes.
What?
We've
That's
reached
our...
the end of our sequel.
Maybe we will have
We're
a sequel to this podcast.
We finally made enough money that we can probably get another one out of this.
enough money.
Enough views.
All right.
That's good money.
Do you want to do? All right. Well, I suppose we can end it now.
We can.
Yeah, do you want to do that thing where we talk about
Oh,
the
should
we'll talk about the different social media and we tell the
Yeah.
address and
So like us on Facebook. That's 1. Love us on Twitter. That's 2.
we
Subscribe
so
to us on YouTube. Get Ellen on Tinder. She's there.
What? Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. We're Hat and Hat.
Thanks,
This is
guys.
Paul.
Cheers, guys.
Matt. Ellen. Good night, guys.
and you're Nick.
See ya.
He was in it as well.
Oh!
Yeah.
That was a really good
No,
call.
actually,